Hey everyone, welcome back to day two of the Smart Protein Summit. I hope you had a wonderful day yesterday as we thought through some of the questions about the Smart Protein Summit in India and globally. We talked about the state of the industry, of course. We talked about corporate innovators who are providing a springboard for innovation. We talked with some of the entrepreneurs who are at the forefront of this transformation and the innovation that they are bringing to the table as well. I'm very excited to dive deeper into some of these areas over the next 4 days. Especially today, we're going to talk about how India can bring some of our manufacturing capabilities, our affordable talent pools in things like biopharma and fermentation industries to the table to advance the global alternative protein or smart protein sector. And then, of course, as well, how the government is already supporting and can further support this budding industry. Now, to that end, I'm very excited to present to you a message to start day two from Dr. Renu Swarup, who's the Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology of the Government of India. Dr. Swarup has been with the Department of Biotechnology for nearly 29 years, and she held the position of Senior Advisor and Scientist until her current appointment. In addition, as part of that mandate, Dr. Swarup holds the position of Chairperson of the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, or BIRAC, which is a public sector company focused on nurturing and promoting innovation research and biotech enterprises. Dr. Swarup earned her PhD in the field of genetics and plant breeding. She did her postdoctoral work with the Commonwealth Scholarship in the lab of Professor Roy Davies at the John Innes Center in Norwich. And I thought that one of the anecdotes that I had heard about Dr. Swarup during her long and storied career was very interesting because towards the end of last year, there was a resilient microbe that was discovered in a lake by researchers in Maharashtra. And they actually named that microbe after Dr. Swarup. As a tribute to the work that she had done for microbial science over her long career. It shows you the kind of respect that Dr. Swarup commands within the scientific community in India. And I think she's best placed to talk about how the government is advancing biotech research, biomedical research very broadly within the country, and perhaps how we can think about positioning the alternative protein sector to fit into those initiatives. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Swarup and with many, many thanks for her presence at the Smart Protein Summit.
A very good afternoon to all of you, and it's a pleasure to be here with you for this Smart Protein Summit. A very interesting summit, the way you have put it together, the various components that you have brought together in the program, ranging from the technology innovations to the adoption of these technologies, implementation, bringing in the research groups, the startups, and also those who are going to be the users of this. I could compliment the entire team which has put together this very interesting program for the summit. In the areas that you have put into the program, and also the Department of Biotechnology, which I represent, covers mostly all these areas in the research and developmental activities, ranging from the fundamental research that we support to the translational sciences in it, the innovation component, and then having the technology development, which then goes into products which are of importance for the society and also can be deployed in various aspects, whether it's the consumers, whether it's the market, whether it's going into different national and international collaborations. The Department of Biotechnology has been supporting research for improved crops, improved agricultural produce, improved livestock, animal health, and also looking at different products which we can then get in terms of enhancing the nutrition. We have a special group which looks at the nutrition enhancement, which looks at the nutraceutical components, which looks at also bringing in the nutrition angle into our agriculture and our animal biotechnology programs. We have, in fact, over these years, worked very closely with the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, with the Ministry of Food Processing, to try and see how we could look at innovative technologies which can address the challenges of these sectors. Biotechnology has a very unique advantage, and that is it cuts across all sectors, whether it's healthcare, whether it's agriculture, whether it's industrial processes. So from clean technologies, which are used for the processing, to the improved varieties of agricultural crops, which our farmers bring out, which have enhanced nutritional components, healthcare, looking at what various products can come out which improve the healthcare of our animals, of our livestock, and of course humans. We are also looking at a lot of One Health related issues. So looking at health issues which connect not just the animal, livestock, human, environment, plants, all of them together. And I think that is a key focus for us as we move on. And you're looking at bringing in the nutrition, and if I focus now specifically on the nutritional aspects, as I said, we have special programs that we support improved variety production. And for this, we brought in new technologies. We are looking at marker-assisted selection. We are looking at germplasm characterization, bringing in the new technologies of genome sequencing to characterize all our varieties, our own indigenous varieties, and then make them available for the plant breeders to come out with nutritious varieties, improved nutrition. We also have in our institute at Mohali the black wheat, as we call it, which they are now doing, black wheat, purple wheat. That's all because it's got enhanced anthocyanins and we're looking at nutritional enhancement. We also have technologies in which we're trying to bring in fortified crops. We're trying to bring in fortified food products, which are important for the midday meal program, which are important for our Anganwadis, which are important for many other aspects for it. Our focus is not just on the research and technology development. Our focus is on seeing how we translate this research and technology through innovation for society. And we have a large number of programs where we are working with at the ground level with the communities, with the society to see how they could take these technologies ahead. We have through BIRAC, which is our public sector, supported a large number of startups, and they work closely with our research institutes to take the ideas through the translational phase to product development. We also have major programs like the Grand Challenges, in which we are connecting agriculture and nutrition, connecting agriculture, nutrition, and health. And here we are actually working with self-help groups. We have some very interesting programs that we've supported with self-help groups. And here the women are being given these technologies. They're being empowered with new technologies where they could have improved varieties of crops, which they grow in their backyards. But then we also help them to convert these into enterprises. So in fact, we have a very interesting model that we've done in Orissa, where women are given technologies, they're given seeds, they're given planting material of setting up these nutrition gardens in their backyards. And once they develop this, once they have these vegetables and these crops, we have these franchisee models where these are picked up and then they are actually given. And so it's not just employment, it's income generation as well. But that's just one project that we did. I think it's important now that we scale these up. And there would be a large number of organizations, and I'm sure your summit will be able to put them together, where these innovative models that we have demonstrated can be scaled up to go across the country. With the Swaminathan Research Foundation, we've set up these nutrition gardens. And again, we've set them up in Orissa, in Uttar Pradesh, in Tamil Nadu. The whole purpose is, how do we bring in an awareness of what the nutritious crops are? How do we bring out what the diversity of the crops is within our country? How do we let people know that it's this diverse crop basket that they have to bring into their nutrition, for their nutrition, into their food basket? And how do we help them to not just make this into a conservation strategy, but also we can then make this into a business model in terms of them taking up some of the improved varieties. So I think it's a mix of technologies which we take in from, as I said, from creating an awareness to be able to bring it into an enterprise structure. And this is really what needs to be replicated. Today, when we're all sitting in COVID times, and that's the reason why we're all connecting virtually, we also do understand that nutrition is going to be so important for us as we move forward. for two reasons. One is it's going to be important for post-COVID, for looking at the healthcare challenges. It's also going to be important because we do need to look at bringing in diverse employment generation activities. And there again, agriculture plays a very important role. So there has to be a diversity in what we take forward. I think what is now going to be important, and maybe this summit can bring out very clearly in its recommendations, is how do you connect this excellent science which is happening in our research laboratories to the society through bringing in stakeholders who can bring in this connection, taking it to the communities. We also have an interesting model that we do, and we call it Biotech Kisan Hub, where we actually look at what are the problems which the farmers face. We've set up rural technology clusters where we work with the local communities, where we've set up self-help groups and brought to them and empowered them with new technologies. But in these Biotech Kisan hubs and rural technology clusters, we're also looking at what really are the challenges which the farmers or the rural groups face, and can our research institutes help them to address these challenges. So it's not just a one-way approach where we take our technologies to the rural sector or to the farmers. We understand from them. So it's both ways. And it's a research which is based on farmer or rural sector challenges and requirements. We have a very interesting program that we did with the rural women of Uttarakhand. We actually started a program in which we gave them technologies with which they could use local resources and some of the very nutritious resources for products. And here, one major product which has been really a success, and we've replicated it now, is our Prashad program, where the women in Kedarnath and that whole area, they looked at what were the local resources and they made Prashad for the local temples there. This was not only a nutritious Prashad, it was also very interesting because it looked at the local resources and it gave the local women an employment opportunity. We've now taken it to Vaishno Devi, we've taken it to temples in the southern part of the country, also moving to the western and the eastern part. So these are the sort of examples which probably summits like this should pick up and see how we can collectively come together with them, how we can replicate these. Because currently from the research ecosystem, our outreach is only for a very limited group of stakeholders. For summits such as what you are organizing, you have very large stakeholder communities which come from other than the research groups. I think connecting these two ecosystems is important. So I would like to just conclude by saying we have a very vibrant ecosystem that we've set up for research. Through BIRAC, through our biotech sector, we've set up a very vibrant startup innovation ecosystem. We also are working with communities, as I mentioned, the Biotech Kisan and the society. Can this vibrant ecosystem be now connected with ecosystems in which people are already demonstrating technologies for the community, where you're looking at connecting research with the needs for nutrition, health, agriculture. And the combination of these two will definitely be able to take technologies that we have from our researchers to society. So I think we need to work with you. You need to identify stakeholders who can connect with our research groups to take our technology to society. And finally, I think our whole motto of doing excellent research and innovation and creating this ecosystem is how do we help to generate affordable and accessible products, whether it's through what we take to the society or how we help our startups build their enterprises. How do we help employment generation? How do we help income generation? And I think collectively we can work together to achieve this. So good luck to you. We'll be very happy to see how many of our research institutes can connect with you and see how we translate our research to products of importance to society. Thank you very much for this.